All right, so this is going to be a submission video for marathons, namely HDQ. Hi, I'm TGH. By the way, I'm not going to be replying that much to people in chat, so just like kind of enjoy the run. I guess I might like say hi or like talk to chat every now and again when I'm not saying anything useful or worth anything. So I will but don't expect for a lot of interaction during this run. Okay? Alright. Yo, what's up? I'm TGH, and this is going to be a marathon submission video for Link's Awakening 2019 any percent. This game was obviously released in 2019, as per the the name of the game. It's usually put in parentheses at the end, but this is any percent, beat the game as fast as possible. No restrictions, no holds barred. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, go. Is that the right usage of that term? No holds barred? I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, so we awaken in bed. By the way, this run is kind of nuts. This run is very, very skip heavy, glitch heavy once we get past Dungeon 1. So we get the shield from Terran there. We wake up in the bed after being, washed up on the beach. And we wake up in bed to who we think is Zelda, but it's not Zelda, it's Marin. Marin was taking care of you for a while there, but you wake up and you're like, where's my sword? I'm gonna go get my sword. So you go down and get the sword on the beach. We know where it is. Ordinarily in casual play, you wouldn't know where it is. So you'd be like searching for it. This song is called Search for the Sword. It is one of the best songs in the game, if not the best, but we only hear it for like 30 seconds, unfortunately. It is unfortunate. So we get our sword, and the first little bit of speed tech that we have here is a little bit of an animation cancel. Normally Link will stay with his sword up in the air for a while after he gets it. It's sort of a celebratory sort of spin slash, but we can cancel that by just holding shield here. We do that a few more times in the run, normally with just like movement. Like moving sometimes will cancel animations that you normally have to wait for to finish. But anyway, okay. So now that we have our sword, we're gonna go. Now that we have access to it, we're gonna go to the Mysterious Woods and go get a mushroom to trade to the witch for the magic powder, which will allow us to sprinkle the Tanuki in the forest, which magically teleports you away when you try to get past him, which is actually Terran in disguise, question mark? In disguise, or like he just basically transforms into a Tanuki at some point because he ate a bad mushroom. I don't know, whatever. There's a lot of reacting to enemy RNG here, like with, if you see an enemy moving a certain way, you do a certain thing, and it's pretty, that was good RNG there. No keys in my way. When I push rocks, by the way, it's a little... So you could do something called a push cancel, but those are frame perfect and a little bit... well, they're not exactly risky, but they lose more time than they gain if you fail them, so, or if you are early for them, at least. So what I like to do is I like to just rub diagonally up against the rocks before I start pushing, because that actually starts the push timer, and allows me to be a little bit closer to where I'm going by the time I... Oh, okay. By the time I push... That was a little bit less fortunate than the first time. Walk in with a shield, get a little boost off of him. For whatever reason, enemies with shields and swords, you can hit, and you will get bounce back off of them, which is actually a little bit faster. Saves a few frames, but enemies that don't have shields or swords, you can't. So we're trading the mushroom for the powder now. The powder has precisely, well, it has more uses in this run than the original game. I also speedrun the original. I speedrun the original Link's Awakening and Link's Awakening DX as well, so when this game came out, I basically already knew I was going to speedrun it. I've been speedrunning it since release. I ran this game at HDQ 2020, which was the last in-person GDQ. And as a bonus run, actually. It was a bonus run. Got in. And yeah, that was a lot of fun. Would love to do it again for sure, and show some of the stuff that has developed in this run since then, because it's been a lot. There's been a lot of stuff. Like the game was what? Like, I mean, the game was released in September of 2019. So, in fact, we've actually just passed the second birthday of it. Just recently. So by the time HDQ 2022 rolls around, this game will be like 2 years and 4 months old-ish. And at HDQ 2020, it was only 4 months old. But yeah, there's a new route. We don't get Mambo's Mambo anymore. We don't get or actually, skipping Mambo's Mambo saves like 10 seconds or so. We skip more than half of D6. Thanks for the hearts, Grass. Wow. There's also a totally new angler key skip. Yo, bye, Astonish. See you later. Peace. Oh, God. Yeah, it's a little unfortunate. Admittedly, I panicked and thought I was dead. Which would have been... would have been a bad death before D1. Okay, so in the D1, yeah, like basically at this point the run is still a little bit slow paced, so we're just trying to, like, you know, save as many frames as we can just by walking and by doing everything we can to save those frames. So, like, it's nothing really too complex yet. Once we get out of Dungeon 1, though, that's when it becomes a little bit not resembling a casual playthrough at all. We'll say that. So we are on our way to get the Rock's Feather, which is going to allow us to jump. That little series of sword slashes I did there actually let me pass through on the inside there instead of the outside. I was holding shield. It's weird. Just slows me down enough to let the spark move out of the way, and then that room there would have been pretty good if I didn't run into the spiny. Oh well. So we're gonna go ahead and get the Rock's Feather here. Once again, we're gonna slash these traps as well, just to give us a little bit of a boost. And we're gonna do something called auto-loading. So auto-loading is just a way to get us back to the beginning of a dungeon really quickly. So every time something important happens, like for instance you get a key, like you'll see this text in the bottom right in German that says saving. By the way, we are playing in German. German is the fastest language in this game, just because it has the fewest text boxes. Not even really because of the language itself. Definitely not because of the language itself, but because of the fact that the translators just formatted the text that way. It mainly saves time directly after dungeons, when you'll see like a white splash screen happen every time I get an instrument. That screen typically in other languages is 2 different screens. In German, it is only 1. And that screen you can't skip immediately, and it takes like 5 seconds to fade in and out. So you save at least 5 seconds every dungeon, times 8. Which is 40 right there, and then probably an extra few seconds just because of the fact that like other text boxes or other dialogues also lack text boxes that other languages have. You can skip text instantaneously in the game, so it doesn't, like, all that really matters is the amount of text boxes. Right, here we have Rolling Bones. Just slash them 8 times. Is actually, as far as we know, that is actually just the fastest way to fight him. It's just to slash him 8 times. he can either go down left or up right, or up, wow, excuse me. He can either go down left or up left. There, you can react to either one and trap him in the upper corner. All right, here's Muldorm. The moldy burger with no patty and just lettuce, if you will. He just takes 2 spin slashes, or four total hits altogether, and that was a pretty good fight right there. Just gotta wait a while for Muldorm's tail to open up. Yeah, this is a marathon submission video, Lonesome. So I won't be interacting too much with chat, but I'll be primarily focusing on the commentary they run. All right, so you'll notice after this dungeon, you'll see exactly what I mean about the text splash, the splash screen, the white screen, you know. All right, so ordinarily in a casual playthrough, we're gonna go up to Mabe Village and we are going to find out that Bow Wow, the village chain chomp / dog, I guess, that's owned by Madame Meow Meow, is stolen by a bunch of moblins. We are, however, not going to go rescue Bow Wow because we have more important things to do. We are going to, and hear me out here, we are going to grab a cuckoo, or the chicken-looking thing from Mabe Village. We're going to take it all the way to the swamp, or near the swamp, and we're going to do something called a like launch. Just as the name suggests, we're going to launch ourselves out of a like, but we're going to do so in such a way that deflects us onto the trees that are meant to serve as barriers. So we're going to walk on top of the trees into Dungeon 2, on top of the brambles as well. So here we go. It's also important that I don't actually hit the cuckoo because that will mess up the trick once I actually go to execute it. And unless I let him, like, settle down, essentially. Which we don't want to have to wait to be able to do. We're just going to powder this unsuspecting moblin there. And we're going to work our way around this like, and look at that RNG. That's actually, like, super good luck. Like, that was really good. But we are on top of the trees now. So basically, like, the like launched us up. Oh boy. The like launched us up in the air, and we got deflected off of the cuckoo. And wound up south of the normally accessible ground on the trees. That was... Okay, what is this RNG? That never happens. We're going to skip that key, and there's a reason for that. It's because Dungeon 2 is kind of infamous in this particular category. Because it has the first of 3 instances of a trick that we call a Hinox Warp. So, last time I ran this at a marathon, this particular Hinox Warp did not exist. And... Well, let's just say this is the only Hinox Warp that is actually completely luck dependent. So, there's a really easy setup. A Hinox Warp is what happens, by the way, when you you take damage and get grabbed by a Hinox on the same frame. And when that happens, the game doesn't handle it how you'd expect. Let's just say that. So basically, you get yeeted through time and space. But there's an easy setup for this one, but there's a 1 in 3 chance for it to work, which I will describe after I execute this. I'm gonna fall in this hole and throw me right. Damn it. All right, so we can save it though. Maybe. It's not easy. Again. Okay. Oh, wait. No, do not do that. I meant to do this. I almost just accidentally reset. Okay, cool. So, yeah, that was not the outcome we were desiring, but it is what it is. This category is like that. what you need to do is get thrown to the right, which is completely luck. It's complete RNG. Complete RNG. But ideally, what would happen is if he throws me straight to the right, which he has a 1 in 3 chance of being able to do, I would wind up right in the instant room. Alternatively, if he threw me down to the right, which I got the least exciting option, by the way. I got the least exciting outcome. I got the up right throw, which basically just kind of voids me and puts me back in bounds, like right here. Give me an exciting one at least. You know, like, I don't care if you throw me to the instant room, just, like, don't give me the boring one. Okay, here's an exciting one. All right, here we go. We're going backwards in the dungeon. All right, cool. So that's all right. So we're getting a little taste of everything here. We're getting the upright throw. We're getting the downright throw. We've seen every option except for the one that's the one we want. Which is, you know, pretty typical. Whoops. That didn't happen. It's fine. All right, so this is why I have a high estimate, by the way. This trick right here is why I have a high estimate, because I know what this Hinox can do. Not because I jump in the spikes, which didn't happen, by the way. All right, so please. Okay, there we go. All right, we got a little taste of everything there. Little taste of everything. But that is what that Hinox Warp looks like when it's pulled off correctly and when you get the right luck for it. This game, I swear. This game knows I'm making a marathon submission video, I swear. And it's gonna know whenever I do it in a marathon, too. It just knows. Alright, so we're gonna go back into Dungeon 2, because there's something that we kind of need. In fact, we cannot get out of this area without it. We need the power bracelet. Excuse me. So the reason I left the key there, by the way, is because it's faster to actually come back in and grab it after than it is to grab it before leaving that room. That is exclusive to this category. There are 2 more Hinox Warps in this run. They are both input-based and not luck-based, which is good. Which is very good. Thank God that all 3 of the Hinox Warps are not a 1 in 3 chance, strictly. Alright, so now we get to have some redemption here. Alright. That was a pretty decent fight. So we're gonna go get the power bracelet, and then we're gonna leave. And yes, by the way, this is faster. This is the fastest way to do this dungeon. Well, it's not actually the fastest, but it's faster than completing the dungeon straight up. Like, without doing that. By about 2 minutes. That is how slow the boss of this dungeon is. Alright, so there's our bracelet, and we're going to leave right now. By auto-loading. But first, we're actually going to grab these rupees, because we need these for reasons. Later on, we're going to buy Tracy's medicine for a reason I will get into later, involving the 3rd and final Hinox Warp of the run. So, also, that's one of the easier tricks in the game. Just hold right and press A, and that rock shatters upon lifting it. Don't get the heart piece of shame. My PB totally didn't do that, by the way, in case anybody was wondering. If anybody asks, that's what you say. Alright, so let's head on down to the shop. This is one of the things we need rupees for. Alright, so we're gonna buy 20 bombs. And we're gonna buy the shovel. Just kidding, we're gonna steal the shovel. Shovel stolen. Which you can do in this game, by the way. This game, this is one of 2 Zelda games which lets you steal. However, the price to pay is literal death, which sucks, but that's okay. It's still faster than grinding the 200 rupees to get the shovel. And it's also... It's okay, though. We've learned our lesson. We're not going to do that again. All right. So now we're going to do a trick called Villa Skip. So this trick right here, you can actually walk on top of these pincer enemies over here, and you can use that to your advantage by stunning them in a very particular way. And we're going to do this. We're going to powder again right away. Fall in the hole. I'm going to spawn on top of the pincer. And I can walk on top of the pincer all the way up onto the trees. And this is going to let us go right into Richard's garden, behind his villa, and get the slime key, which completely skips Candlelight Castle. Completely skips like a very long, skips like 5 minutes worth of walking and getting the golden leaves and fulfilling Richard's, lifelong desires or whatnot. I don't know. Shout out to Richard. Richard lives in here, by the way. It is, yeah, it is a thing in the original, but it's done completely differently. It's done using a tech that I don't even really think has a name. It's when you pause and you fall into a hole on the same frame. Shoutouts to Richard. Ho! Alright, we're gonna equip an arrow right away, shoot him, and flounder around at that guy. D3 is really interesting, by the way. So D3 has this system. D3 has this dungeon layout where there is a central structure kind of that you can bypass only using keys. And you need a total of 4 keys to unlock all 4, blocks. But we are going to skip all of them, actually, except for one. The only key we'll be getting from here on out is a nightmare key. We're going to do that by doing something called the Dongo Skip twice. We do this twice. Move. Okay. I didn't even equip bombs. Whoops. Alright. Those are the most annoying enemies in the game, by the way. Those red gels. Alright, so we're not going to fight the Dodongo snakes. Instead, we're going to do something called a bomb balloon here, which was just discovered relatively recently, actually. It was discovered, I think, late last year, which somehow feels like relatively recently, but we're going to use this bomb to get up on the fence there. And we're just going to walk right past the unsuspecting Dodongo snakes and go get our boots, which we can use to go fast now. The first thing we're going to do with these boots is we're going to jump over this hole and go get the nightmare key. And then we're going to use them for something a little bit less intended. So that trick I just did, we're going to do it again. Except this time, we're not going to go around and get the boots again, because why would we do that? We are going to do a bomb jump. Oh, that was a lot better. There we go. Alright, we're going to do something pretty strange looking here after we do this trick yet again. Is that low enough? No. Okay. Alright, looks like we're going back in. I was too high. I was a little bit too high, and I probably should have known. That looks better. There we go. Yeah, the position you have to stand there is a little bit precise. Alright, so we're gonna just... Oh, okay. Link. It's fine. Alright, we're gonna throw the bomb over here, stand right there, throw, and as soon as the bomb starts flashing... I might be late. I am late. Alright, cool. At least I didn't get hit. I maybe shouldn't talk while I do this. But maybe you got an idea of what I'm trying to do. Thank you, Flickback. Thank you, Pro Controller Flickback. Appreciate it. There we go. That's better. Alright, so yeah, as soon as the bomb starts flashing, you can start your dash and do a tight little jump off the fence there. Okay. So yeah, we just successfully made it to the boss area here without getting a single key in the dungeon they call Key Cavern. So that works out. It has a much more, well, actually, never mind, the name still isn't fitting in German, but it's it is much more badass in German. It's called the Devil's Villa, or Devil's Mansion in German. Teufelsvilla. I'm sorry if I terribly mispronounced that. Alright, so if I got a little bit better RNG there, I could have made that work a little better, but that's still fine. Alright, we're to grab this heart container because we do need to take some damage later on in this run, which I will, you know, we'll get to. Like, Hinox warping requires taking damage in the first place. So, we do need that. My German is not good. I appreciate it, though. Thank you, Horse Dragon. And greetings as well from East America. For those of you just coming in, by the way, I am doing a marathon submission video for HDQ right now. I just got a time, like the very previous run that I did. I got a time that reads on the splits as 1 hour, 0 minutes, and 0 seconds. Which I retimed, or I kind of like mock retimed it, and I think it might be a 59:59.8. So here's hoping for that. But I will do an official frame timing after the run. Okay, so now we're gonna... this is actually a very recent route change. So what we would do before is go get the Seashell Mansion Warp and then come over here. But the Seashell Mansion Warp actually loses time with the route we call Mambo-less, which should be pretty easy to tell, I guess, like what Mambo-less means. It means we don't get Mambo's Mambo, which lets you warp everywhere. Lets you warp to, well, warp points. We're gonna grab these rupees, though, before we get the ocarina. By the way, yes, we are literally in a dream within a dream. So shoutouts to Inception, which actually came out several years after this game. So Inception basically ripped this game off. Yeah. Alright, here we go. So now, you might have noticed that I took damage in there. That was not by accident. That was to manipulate a drop here. So the way Guardian Acorns work in this game, you might have seen one. Actually, I'm not sure one has dropped yet. But a Guardian Acorn will drop when you kill 15 enemies without taking any damage. Because what better reward to give a player for not taking damage than something that, you know, guards them from taking more damage? I don't know either. But anyway, so Piece of Power works in a similar way, but Acorn is way more consistent here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hopefully not get hit by these pigs. There we go, because that would ruin the Acorn count. And I'm going to use the Acorn to do something called an air climb, and this is going to look really weird. This is going to look super strange, but I'm going to lure this pig over here so that I can kill him in front of where the ladder is. Right there. So then the Acorn drops there, and if I do this correctly, the Acorn will drop there, jump over it, climb up, interrupt my climb with the Acorn, get on the seam of collision on the top of this wall, and land on the wall there. Sorry I didn't really explain that very well, but yeah, that happens kind of fast. And now we're into Dungeon 4 without ever having to get the D4 key. But yeah, that is one of the newest developments in this run. All right, and right away, you know, we're not given a break at all at this point. We're gonna go ahead and do a bomb balloon to get up on the wall, which is gonna let us get the. Come on. There we go. It's gonna let us get a nightmare key without, you know, doing everything that we normally need to do to get the nightmare key. There we go. I don't know if that dash saves time. I don't think it does. Alright, so we need to come up here and get this key just in order to access the mini-boss of this dungeon, also known as Cue Ball. Whoops. I got a little, I got my jump eaten there by the fact that I was actually going off of a piece of, like, raised ground to a piece of lowered ground, which can happen and is actually quite annoying at times in this run. Alright, so spin slash, slash, back away, fire an arrow, and 2 more spin slashes does it. That fight is actually kind of tight, but it is good to do with practice, or it gets easier with practice, I should say. Much like everything in this run, or everything in any speedrun you've probably ever seen, actually. Come to think of it. Alright, so ordinarily, with the previous route, we would go ahead and go west here to get Mama's Mambo. We're not going to do that. We're going to go here because it saves about 10 seconds, actually. It makes for a much more movement-heavy route, but saves about 10 seconds to not get the song on the left side there called Mambo's Mambo. Instead, we're going to go here. We're going to grab this warp. And we're gonna go here and do a very cool route. Very cool route that involves just doing Villa Skip again, or, you know, doing this again, as if you were doing Villa Skip. Get up on the trees. Up here. And jump across there on these rocks to D5. That route saves 2.5 seconds over an alternative, over just going around. It turns out that running down from Dungeon 4 and like all the way down from Dungeon 4, like running and swimming down, and doing that, and taking the warp, but not doing that, are about the same amount of time. But doing that specifically saves 2.5 seconds over those two. Alright, I like buffering the bombs there just to see what that guy's doing. I shouldn't have done that. Oh well. Alright, so the premise of Dungeon 5 is we need to kill Master Stalfos. But we're going to do so in a way that is rather unorthodox for the very last kill, which we're going to fight in the room immediately west of that room. Also, I like how that rupee got squished between the blocks. That was good. Alright, so... Oh, what? Oh, okay. Alright, so the idea here is to place a bomb, knock them down before it explodes, rinse, repeat. And we do this not once, not twice. Not 3 times, but 4 times. Because... yes. This one's a little bit different because he has text, and also because you're coming in from the side. Yeah, basically, I'm just kind of mashing bombs. You can't have more than one bomb on the screen at the same time, much like the original Link's Awakening. I'm not exactly sure why, because this game doesn't, you know, this game isn't held to the same sort of limitations as a Game Boy game is. But it is what it is. I guess they considered it like an important part of the game design. Alright, so here I'm going to make a safety save because we do something very peculiar for this particular fight coming up. I'm going to save here. And not save again. There we go. So I'm about to try a trick, and if I fail it without safety saving, I cannot try it again. Because the game auto-saves immediately before you actually attempt the trick, and after the death of Master Stalfos. So basically, Master Stalfos is going to drop the hookshot. But we are not going to pick up the hookshot right away. We're going to use the hookshot to do something. We're going to use the hookshot to catapult ourselves up on the wall and walk to the instrument. Which is definitely not strange at all. So here we go. We're going to kill Master Stalfos in the corner. He's going to die. I'm going to plant a bomb. The hookshot's going to launch itself up in the air a little bit. Stand in the right place, pick the bomb up at the right time, and I am on the walls. So, actually, what you're doing there is you're clipping into the hookshot slightly by picking up the bomb, and both Link and the hookshot get flung up in the air, land on the ceiling, or you land on the ceiling, yo, Rom Scout, thanks for the host in the raid, by the way. Thank you very much. I'm right in the middle of a marathon commentary run. I'm making a submission video for HDQ. What is a man? Thank you. Thanks very much for the raid and host. I'm TGH. I speedrun a lot of 2D Zelda. Like a lot of it, but we keep it chill here, so. Hope y'all are having a good one, and hope your stream was good, Romscout. Alright, so yeah, unfortunately, as a byproduct of doing that skip, we do have to come in and get the hookshot. There is a route that involves skipping the hookshot, but right now it is pretty volatile and mainly considered not worth it to do. And it only saves like 10 to 15 seconds if you do everything perfectly. So, alright, interesting little tech here. That was reintroduced. We've known about this forever, but it was reintroduced with the Mombolus route. So you can actually clip into the wall slightly and go into the left portal there, the left like warp zone or loading zone, not warp zone. This isn't SMB1. So we are able to just like skip that swimming section. Get out of here. Nice menu. Alright, then we just swim all the way up here, and now we're gonna go through the Armos Maze. We need to go get the Dungeon 6 key. Which is down south of here, in this shrine that you can see on screen. Now you can't, but you could before. So this place is actually like super dangerous because these Armos Knights do 2 hearts of damage, and if you're not careful, you can get hit by them. It's actually kind of easy to, because their hitboxes are nice. Okay, well now we know we won't die. But yeah. Yep, that always happens here. This happens a lot. See if we can get the Acorn too. Let's see if we can get the Dynamic Duo on the way back. Yeah, the reason German is faster in this game is because the text, you can skip all the text pretty much instantaneously. So like otherwise an Asian language would be faster just because of like syntax density and information density in the characters, meaning less characters. But just it's really just because of the way the translators like formatted the text in German. Like they just, I guess they just crammed everything, or they just made NPCs say less. I don't know. I really don't know. But the main time save comes at the very end of dungeons. Nice. The very end of dungeons, mainly. When you have a white splash screen that like hints at where to go next. So typically with other languages, those are 2 screens long. With German, it's only 1. And it saves like 5 seconds at the end of every single dungeon. So... Okay, I meant to throw that, but I was a little bit early on the input. Oh boy. Oh boy. Thank you. I should not have dashed there, but whatever. We're good. Alright. So now we are entering Dungeon 6. Dungeon 6 is home to another very recent, very big development. There's a skip now in Dungeon 6 that skips the boss entirely, and it skips a lot of stuff in Dungeon 6, and it saves about 220 or something. It saves like a lot of time. And it's based on something that we've always known you can do, but the discovery of bomb ballooning and the discovery that you can actually pick up a bomb while you're on a wall if you do a very specific thing here makes it so that we can't actually get up there. By the way, I know I've mentioned bomb ballooning, especially in like D3. I really don't know what exactly makes you ascend into the air when you're holding a bomb on a ledge. Like I don't know. And I'm not sure anybody else does either. This game is still pretty dang new, and a lot of the tools that we'd need to like see whether or not something is happening for a certain reason is happening for that reason. All right. So we're gonna go over here and get this hundo, or 100 rupees. We do need 300 total rupees from here until the end of this segment. I don't know why I didn't hookshot there, well. Because we need the Frog Song of Soul, and that takes 300 rupees to actually get. Alright, so right here, I'm gonna pick up these extra bombs, but I am, basically, I'm going a way that I wouldn't ordinarily go. But that is because I'm about to do a trick here. And we're gonna get the last 100 rupees of the run right here. And watch very closely. Nope, I missed the bomb. But yeah, if you walk into the edge of this doorway, Link just come on, please grab the bomb. It's kind of hard to grab the bomb here. I don't know. It's actually kind of hard to grab. You gotta like really mash for it. Hello? Please? Alright, it hasn't taken me this many tries. There we go. God, I don't know what in the world happened there. But anyway, we're on the wall now. And we can do this. I'm gonna count seconds here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so now we're just gonna walk on the ceiling all the way to the instrument. But yeah, if you're not a little bit careful on certain parts there, you can and will get stuck and actually void back to the last safe tile that you were on, which, by the way, is nowhere close to where we ended up. So yeah, you go all the way back in a lot of situations. But one thing I did do while I was on the wall is I was actually very slightly outside like the trigger that causes the screen to transition. And I was counting seconds there because I was counting about 3.5 seconds because continuously dashing instead of transitioning 3 times, or is it twice there? I don't remember. But yeah, saves time over the transitions that you'd have to do. So we just do that instead. It's a little dangerous, but it's not that bad if you practice it and like really know what's up with it. All right, so we use the Seashell Mansion Warp, which still gets love, sort of, to go back to Cuckoo Prairie, and we're gonna do the Frog Song Maze, or the Signpost Maze. That dash is kind of hard. So I'm reading as many signs as I can for like from the side, just because it's more optimal, less travel time, and in some cases I think Link reads it a little quicker as well. Like the text will pop up sooner. Like, see how he'll like walk to a certain position each time I like initiate the reading of a sign. Like he'll just like walk to a certain like seemingly fixed position. That is the travel time I'm talking about. I'm just gonna jump over that hole after slashing the bush. Neat little tech there. What's nice about the Mombulus route, though, is that it lets us have Feather in here without wasting a menu. Or actually, it would be 2 menus. Sorry, I had to be quiet for the best banger in the game there. Which, by the way, is the first song that we've learned all run. That's supposed to be the last song you learn in a casual playthrough. Instead, in this run, it is the last song, or excuse me, my bad, I can't speak. It is the first run that we do. Wait, I still can't speak. It's the first song that we learn. There we go. Losing it. And of course we use that song to perform necromancy. No, the last song we learn, because we don't learn Mambo with this route, the last song we learn is Battle of the Windfish. Because we kind of need this to beat the game. So, yeah. We need to open the egg at the end of the game. This is the only way to do it, unfortunately. The loading zone for the egg literally does not exist until you play the song. unfortunately. So early egg, I remember a bunch of us were trying to find early egg, like very early on, but found out that the trigger does not exist until you play the song, which is very unfortunate. All right, I need this fox to stay out of my way because I'm about to try a pretty tight dash. There we go. Dashing between that fox and the sign is actually, like, very difficult. It's very precise. All right, so now that we have a rooster following us, we are going to use it to do wonderful, wonderful, wonderful things. None of which are intended. Well, one of which are intended. Is intended, whatever. Like this, for instance. So that skips a... Whoops. That skips a lot of travel. Like, a lot of travel. And also, we're going to do Dungeon 8 before Dungeon 7. Because there's actually something pretty cool we can do on the way back as well. This is where the run starts to get really nuts, by the way. Nice acorn. Okay. Can I avoid this? I don't really think I can, honestly. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. That is a really unfortunate place for an acorn. Maybe I should take more damage or something. Alright. So that is the turtle fight. And so remember in Dungeon 2, I did that one Hinox warp, right? This one is, well, we're gonna do it immediately. If I do everything correctly, Dungeon 8 should take about 35 seconds. Also, I really need to equip bomb arrows. There we go. That made a really weird sound, but hey, this is the boss room, by the way. And this is the instrument room. So that is pixel perfect and frame perfect, but there's a setup for it. So it's really just kind of frame perfect with a setup. I have a really good cue for it. The first frame where Link's sword touches the little welcome mat looking thing in front of the door, that is what I'm looking for. And that is the frame you want to fire the bomb arrow on. So essentially what I did was I took damage from my own bomb arrow and got grabbed on the same frame by the Hinox, and he just fired me to the boss room. And because I entered the boss room where I did, or basically I didn't, actually, whoa, okay. All right, that was weird. I need to auto-load there because ideally I would stay on those rocks. So because I entered that boss room where I did, instead of entering from the front, it didn't trigger the boss to spawn. Come on, Rooster, come on. Oh yeah, this is neat too. So we have to do this route. We literally have to do this route because we did Angler Key skip very early. By the way, there's collision on this mountain. Thank you, Grezzo. So we have to go this way because if we didn't, the waterfall that is still, you know, there because we didn't unlock D4, will block us out from getting to East Taltal Heights. So we need to, or rather not, the Taltal Mountain. Whatever the hell it's called. So we're gonna use the rooster actually in its intended way to get the bird key. So these climbs that I'm doing, like these tricks on the ladders that I'm doing, are called well, they're air climbs, but we're doing them in a different way than we did with the acorn earlier for Angler Key skip. Instead, we are, well, using the rooster for it. Okay, there we go. And we're just gonna use the rooster to fly on the seam here. And we're going to do the same thing here to get up to G7. This jump is a little trickier. There we go, because you kind of have to land like... You don't have to land right on the edge, but landing on the edge makes it a lot easier. But yeah, that jump is a little bit more risky. Alright, so Dungeon 7. We are not done Hinox warping, by the way. One more. One more Hinox warp for the road. Do I even have enough bombs? I used a lot of bombs in D6. I'm really glad I grabbed that pickup. That key, getting that key is the most normal looking part of this D7. So we're gonna do something called skewing here. You can actually face in more than just the 8 directions the game tries to make you stay in. I'm too shallow. That looks fine, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so you can actually hit that switch using a skew. What am I doing? Using a skewed angle, which you can do by just facing in a direction and... Oh. You know, okay, I'm just gonna kill you. That makes sense. Okay, so these bonks I'm about to do here are on purpose. They are part of the setup here because your X coordinate here has to be so exact that even just the littlest discrepancy can throw it off. Okay, so there it is. This is actually the funniest frame to get. There's a 3-frame window to get this, but this is the funniest for sure. So, all right, I have to be truthful. This was not the ideal frame to get. The ideal frame to get would have been 1 frame later, which would have sent me to the instrument room. Actually, I can only use 2 arrows for this fight. So ideally, any percent runs would not fight this boss. However, that is not what happened here, and that's not what I really expect every run either. Because it is a frame-perfect input to actually get to the instrument. That Hinox warp itself, by the way, remember the potion I got earlier from Tracy, or the medicine? Yeah, that actually is finally coming to fruition. This is the reason why we needed it. Because the potion... So what's happening basically when you're Hinox warping? You are zipping, basically, okay. So we think that what's happening when you Hinox warp is that by taking damage, you're interrupting the flag that essentially snaps Link to the Hinox's hand. And because of that, Link is supposed to snap to the hand, but he doesn't stop at the hand. Like some flag gets interrupted there, or some flag gets like bypassed, and Link just keeps going. He just keeps going. And Link, like if you look at a map of the coordinates that Link actually goes to, it's actually absurd. Link will travel far, 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 far beyond the boundaries of the dungeon, and will come back onto a certain safe tile, and that safe tile, like the last safe tile that Link is on, from the duration of time between when the Hinox grabs you, quote-unquote, and when he throws you, is the tile you end up on when you, like, when everything is said and done. That's why sometimes you void. Sometimes you just, like, don't cross a valid tile. Like, if you don't cross a valid tile in a certain amount of time, the game will just place you back. And therefore, the whole point I've been trying to make here is that the Tracy medicine, by the way, blubber blubber, blub blub blub, fudder, blub, blubber blubber, piranha killer. So the point I'm trying to make here is that the Tracy's medicine makes that zipping stage prolonged, like very much so, and therefore changes where you end up. And that particular setup took ages to find. Like, we knew it was possible, but it took forever to get it consistent, and that is the only way we know of today that is consistent. By the way, so something I didn't mention earlier, we actually split Dungeon 4 into 2 parts. Reason being, if we, like, as soon as we complete D4, we are supposed to get a side quest with the ghost, right? The ghost that makes you bring it to its home on the beach and then bring it to the gravestone, right? So it turns out there are 2 different things that need to happen for that ghost side quest to start, for the ghost to actually spawn behind you. One of them is finishing Dungeon 4. The other one is going south of a certain point on the map, which is pretty far south of where I am right now. So we finished Dungeon 4 last, so that we just never have to go south of that point again. Because we're going right to the egg. We have all the instruments, so we're going right to the egg, and we skip that ghost side quest as a result. I'm making a marathon submission video. So yeah, in a way, yeah, sure. I am preparing. Alright, so only thing we have left to do is go in and kill the final boss. I will mention something though, and I'll try to mention it after the song. Okay, so one thing I didn't mention earlier is that this run was actually way prior to when the run started. This run was RNG maniped for. We don't know a lot about the RNG in this game, but what we do know is that the egg path is determined before you ever even make a file. It is determined by the amount of seconds it takes, whole seconds, not even, you know, frames or anything, just seconds. The amount of seconds it takes for you to start the game from starting up your Switch. And as per the rules, you are allowed to make a file that is RNG maniped for with, say, the perfect egg pattern, like what I have here, and keep that file so that the egg pattern never changes. So ordinarily, you'd have to complete the trade sequence, grab the magnifying glass from the mermaid statue, or underneath the mermaid statue, and read a book in the library that tells you the path of the egg. We don't do any of that. And that's why the egg is dark, by the way. If I were to read that book, the egg path would be, like, nice and bright. Or rather, the egg itself would be bright. It would be like this room. But instead it's dark, because the game knows that I haven't read the book, so it stays dark, by design. Alright, so here's Aga, or Aghanim. Anybody who runs Link to the Past knows Aghanim. He does more or less the same thing, except with a couple of changes. He's actually different in this version, or he's slightly different. His blue balls work differently. but basically all you need to know is that the first one's always a normal ball, and every other one from there on is 50-50. And he cannot give you more than 3 of the same type of ball in a row, excuse me. That was Muldorm. Muldorm has a nice little quick kill. Here is Aghanim. Sorry, here's Ganon, not Aghanim. Aghanim already happened. So there is the Ganon phase. His blue balls. The attack you can't deflect. That are affectionately, of course, by various Zelda communities called blue balls. Alright, so here's Death Eye. Final phase of the final boss. He will open his eye 5 times, and I will shoot 2 arrows in each time, and I'm being very careful not to waste any, because I have just as many arrows as I need to kill him. So I need to not use, or not waste any at all, or else I'm dead. There we go. A little bit tight going in with 10 arrows, but like it's... As long as I don't try to get triples, it's generally not that bad to get 2 per cycle. Time ends when I climb the ladder, and it is the first full frame of black screen. And time. That's it, 1:05:14 is the final time. So yeah, this was Link's Awakening 2019, 80%. Thanks for watching. This has been a submission video for AGDQ plus other various marathons as well. I appreciate you watching, and I hope this is considered. And yeah, I guess any questions, feel free to reach out to me. So, peace out. Once again, I'm TGH, and I have nothing else to say. Peace out. It'd be great to run this in the marathon again, so... Thank you.